So now we will start chapter number 5, refraction through lenses. Lens is a piece of transparent optical material bounded by two refracting surfaces. Okay, means it is a piece of transparent optical material that is bounded by two refracting. Both the surfaces are refracting. Now we will understand what is the types of lenses. What is the types of lenses means how many types of lenses are available in market. So first one is convex lens. Okay, the first one is convex lens. We call this convex lens as converging lens also. Okay, convex lens or converging lens. And the second one is concave lens. Okay, and we call this concave lens as diverging lens also. Now what is converging lens? Converging lens, the structure of converging lens is like this. Okay, this is the convex lens. Both the surfaces are bulging outward. This is convex lens, or we call simply it as biconvex. Okay, now if one of the surface is flat and another is curved one, then we call this surface as plano convex. And the very last one, when both the surface are coming in like this, then this surface is called concavo convex. Okay, in convex lens, three types of lens comes: biconvex, plano-convex and concavo-convex. All these lenses you will see in the physics lab. Now next, the concave or diverging lens. Concave lens is also called as diverging lens because when a light comes in this type of lens, then it diverges the light away from the it. So concave is also of three types, that is biconcave, plano-concave, this is plano-concave, one surface is plane, and last one is convexo-concave, like this. Okay, this is plano-concave and this is convexo-concave. Three types of concave lens are available. Okay, understood up to this? Now here one table is given, table 5.1. Please go through this table for the exams. It will be very important and you must learn the table very nicely. Okay, now what is the action of this converging lens? So before seeing the action, we will say how these lenses are made. So first of all, let us assume that this is a spherical surface, okay, and another spherical surface near to it. The center of the first surface, let this be C1, and the center of another surface, let this be C2. Join both the centers. Okay, this portion, this center portion is the convex lens. These are the center of the curvature, and the center of this lens is the optical center. Let us draw this lens here, this portion, center portion here. This is the portion we drawn here. Now the line passing through its center is the, we call this line as principal axis. Okay, we call this line as principal axis. It is an infinite line, goes from here to here, left side to right side. This is the center, that is C1. Let us draw this C1 here. This is another center, C2 of another surface. Now the center of the lens is the optical center, denoted by O. The half of the optical center to the center of curvature is the focal length. This is first focal length, and the half from optical center to the second center of curvature is the another focal or focus. This is first focus, this is second focus, F1 and F2. Now this surface is called as the aperture, the portion which is refracting. Okay, this much portion which is refracting surface is called as the aperture of the lens. Okay, up to this you have to be very clear. Now same case is in the concave lens also. Let us draw concave lens also. This is convex. Okay, when two spheres overlap each other, then it makes a convex lens. Now we take the case of concave, that the spheres are near to each other but they are not sorry, but they are not overlapping. So when we join the two spheres by a line like this is rough diagram, okay, so it will not be much accurate. Like this, the portion which we got between the two lenses is the concave lens. We draw this here. This is the concave lens we got. Same, this is the line or principal axis. This is the center of curvature for first, center of curvature for second. So let this be C1, this be C2. Center portion is optical center. This is first focus and this is second focus. So you have to be very clear with the terms, that is what is optical center, what is center of curvature, what is aperture, what is principal axis. And one more thing, here one term comes, the radius of curvature. What is the radius of curvature in the upper one? The distance from the center of curvature to the optical center. Okay, the distance from the center of curvature to the optical center is called the radius of curvature, and here the distance from the center of curvature to the optical center is called the radius of curvature, because in the sphere this is the radius. Okay, in the sphere this is the radius. Clear? And the half of the radius is the double of the radius is the diameter, but we will not take diameter into consideration. This is the radius of curvature, and this point is called the center of curvature in the convex lens, and this point is called the center of curvature in the concave lens. So this is the case of concave lens. Okay, now moving on to the next topic, that is why we call these lenses as converging and diverging. Convex lens, converging. So let us see. First of all, we will draw convex lens. Now this is the principal axis, this is the center of curvature, here also center of curvature. This is first focal point f1, this is second focal point f2. Okay, this is optical center, and this is the aperture, and this is principal axis going to infinity. Now let us assume that rays of light are coming from infinity. Okay, object is placed at infinity, and the rays of light, that is incident ray, is coming from infinity to this lens. So what will happen? This will meet, the lines will meet at focus. So when a ray of light coming from infinity, then it will meet at the focus. So see this, two rays are coming from the infinity and they are meeting at the focus. So this is called converge. Means the lines are converging at a point or meeting at a point. That's why convex lens is also called as the converging lens. Now next, if we see the case of concave, in case of concave it is diverging. What is the meaning of diverging? That it will diverge. So let's see how it will diverge. First of all, learn how to draw the diagrams of the convex and this is convex lens and this is concave lens. Now this is the optical center, this is the center of curvature. Here also this is first focus and this is second focus. Same, an object is placed at infinity, the rays are coming here. Up to the center you have to take. Okay, the rays are coming here. So what will happen? They will not converge here, but they will diverge like this, away from the lens. They will not converge as in the case of convex, but they will diverge away. So diverging does not make any sense. So we will extend that diverged rays backward to the first focus. Okay, what we have done, we have extended back the diverged rays to this first focus and let them meet at the first focus. So that's why it is called diverging lens, because here no image will form. So we have extended back and it is meeting at the first focus. Now let us go to the next topic, that is what is virtual focus and what is real focus. Okay, so see here, when the rays directly meet at the focus, this is called real focus, and the rays which does not directly meet at the focus, means they are not directly meeting at the focus, we are extending back the lines and then let them to meet at the focus. So this is called virtual focus. This is virtual focus and this is real focus. Okay. Sorry. Now next, refraction of an oblique parallel beam of light by lens. Refraction of an oblique parallel beam of light by lens. So what is this case? Let me draw an convex lens here. Okay, this is convex, this is the optical center. So first of all, what will happen, let's see one or two cases before it, that when a ray of light is coming parallel to the principal axis, it will always move from the focus. Okay, when a ray of light coming parallel to the principal axis, it will go towards the focus. Now another case is that when a ray of light is passing through the optical center, it will go straight without deviating or without any refraction. Okay, so remember these two cases. When a ray of light is coming parallel from the focus, parallel to the principal axis, it will go from the focus, and when a ray of light is going to the optical center, it will go undeviatedly. Okay, so now we are on this point, the refraction of an oblique parallel beam of light by lens. So how to do? We have a lens. We have lens here. What happened? This is the center line we have drawn. A light is incidenting at this point obliquely. Obliquely means at an angle. So it will go deviatedly. Let us assume a imaginary plane. This imaginary plane that is passing through the focus is called the focal plane. So remember this also, a imaginary plane passing through the focus is called focal plane. Now one more ray is coming which is passing through the optical center, so it will go undeviatedly, means without any refraction it will go directly and meet at the same point. Now another ray like this is coming here, so it will also meet at the same point. Okay, this is the line coming from the focus. So when the line is coming from the focus, it will go parallelly to the principal axis. It is not clear here, but it is the same case. You can see in the book on page number 100. Now this is the case of convex lens. Now you have to do the same case as in the concave lens also. Okay, now moving on to the next topics, that is formation of image by lens. It is a very important topic. I will explain one or two, rest you have to do. First of all, formation of image by lens. Okay, formation of image by lens, how it will form. So see one or two case. So first of all we will see the case of convex, then concave. This is the principal axis for convex and this is the principal axis for concave. Let this be the focus, first focus, this is second focus. Here also first focus and second focus. Now when a ray of light is coming parallel to the principal axis, from where it will pass? Yes, it will pass from the focus in the case of convex lens. Now when a ray of light is coming parallelly to the principal axis, it will not meet at the focus, but it will divert away. That's why we call it as diverging lens. When we extend back the ray, then it will meet at the virtual focus that we have seen in the previous topic. Now next, this is the first case. Now next, second case, as I have told you before also, that this is first focus, second focus, this is optical center. Now when a ray of light is directly coming at the optical center, it will go undeviatedly straight. Okay, same is the case for concave also, that this is principal axis, this is optical center, this is first focus, and this is second focus. So when a ray of light is coming directly to the optical center, it will go undividedly from the optical center. And the last one which we haven't seen before is that when a ray of light is emerging from the focus, or first of all it is passing from the focus and go to the lens, it will go parallel to the principal axis. Like in the first case, when the line is parallel to the principal axis, it passes through focus. In this case, when the line passes through focus, it will go parallel to the principal axis. Same is the case of concave also. Okay, same is the case of concave. This is f1, f2, and this is optical center. So when a line or diverging line comes, it will go straight to the principal axis, and when we extend it, it will meet at the focus. So these three cases you have to remember to learn another 7 cases of convex lens. Okay, so let us see. So what is formation of image by convex lens? So very first you have to be very clear with what is real image and what is virtual image. Okay, real and virtual image. So let us assume that this is a lens and an object is placed here. Okay, we are just seeing an example, don't compare with that and with any case. Okay, we have taken a convex lens and placed an object here. So when the rays will pass, it will go like this, and for instance we have taken another ray, so these both rays are meeting here. Okay, so this is the example. I am again telling, don't compare with it with any case. Okay, a convex lens, an object is placed here on the left side of the lens, or we can say that it is placed on the left side and the image is formed on the another side. Means in this case, when the image is formed on the another side of the object, then it is called the real image. Okay, and if the image formed is on the same side as of the object, means if the image, for example, if the image comes here, then it will be said as it is a virtual image. In this case it is real image, but if the image is not here, the image comes here, then it will be the virtual image. Okay, now next one more thing, we have to see its nature. How? This is the height of the object and this is the height of the image, and also our object is placed straight and the image formed is opposite to it. Okay, our object is placed straight and the image is opposite to it. So in this case it is written as inverted. Okay, in this case it is written as inverted. But if the object is like this and the image also formed is like this, then it will call as the image is erect. Okay, in this case it is inverted, in this case it will be erect. And one more thing, if the image is point size or very small, then we will directly write it as diminished or very small directly. Okay, now if the sizes of the object and the image are same, then we will write the nature as it is same size. And also if the image is very large as compared to the object, then we will write it as magnified or highly magnified, depending on the condition. So we have to start with the first case, that is when the object is placed between optical center and first focus. So what will happen, we have drawn a convex lens here. Now this is optical center, this is f1, this is f2, C, and this is center of curvature, another one. Now we have placed an object between optical center and first focus. What will happen, first the ray will go like this and passes through the first focus. Now in the second case it will pass through the optical center and goes undividedly. Now the distance between them is increasing continuously and they will never meet at infinity also. So what we will do, we will extend them back. Okay, and we have extended them back and they are meeting here somewhere. Okay, they are meeting here somewhere, before center of curvature they are meeting. So the image formed is on the same side as that of object. So what we will write, the image is now is virtual image. Okay, the image is virtual image. It is also straight and the object is also straight, so it is erect also. The image is erect. And the last one, it is very magnified. Magnified means it is very big as compared to the object, so we will write it as magnified. This is the first case, and you have to learn all the cases given on the page number 105. The table is given, you have to learn all the 7 cases of the convex lens. Now the second one is when the object is as f1. Now when the object is placed at f1, what will happen? Like this. This is f1, this is center curvature f2, and this is another center. When the object is placed here like this, so what will happen? First of all, it will go to the focus. Okay, like this it will go to the focus, and secondly it will pass to the optical center. These both the rays are parallel to each other. Okay, and parallel seems to be parallel, but they are not actually parallel. They are seems to be parallel, but no, they are not actually parallel, and they are like converging. They will meet at some point in infinity. So image will be formed at infinity, and the image will be inverted. Okay, image will be inverted because it is straight. The object is straight and the image formed will be like this, so it will be inverted, infinity and inverted. And one more thing, the image will be magnified as compared to the object. Okay, these two cases I have told you. Now you have to learn all the cases that are given on page number 105, table number 5.3. Same are the cases of concave lens also, and that are given on page number 106. You have to learn, and the table number 5.4 is very important. Now coming and moving on to the next topic, that is the power of lens, which is important topic and almost the last topic of our chapter. What is power of lens? The power of lens is defined as the reciprocal of the focal length. So what is focal length? Let us assume this is the lens, this is optical center, this is first focus, this is center of curvature, and this is second focus, this is second center of curvature. So the distance between focus and optical center, this distance, the distance between focus and optical center is called as the focal length. Okay, distance between optical center and focus is called the focal length, and it is denoted by a small f. So you have to look it. So power of lens is denoted by P, and it is the reciprocal of focal length. So power of lens is equals to 1 upon f. So what is the unit of focal length? Focal length is a type of length, and its unit is meter. So what will be the unit of power? The unit of power will be meter inverse, or we will call it as diopter. Okay, like this you have to remember all the things. The unit of power is meter inverse or diopter. We generally write diopter, and it is the SI unit. Okay, remember this is the SI unit of focal length. Now if the power comes in positive, means if it has a value of plus 1.0 d, then we can recognize the lens by seeing this only. If the power is plus, it is the lens is convex lens. Okay, if the power is plus, it is convex lens, and if the power is minus, then it will be concave lens. So you can easily determine your glass. If you wear a glass and if its number is in minus, then it is concave lens, and if it is plus, it is convex lens. So don't get confused in future questions. Now power of a combination of lens. If two lenses are given, two lenses are combined like this. This is one lens and this is another lens. These two lenses are combined. So what we will do, let the power of the first one be P1 and let the power of second one will be P2. So you have to combine both. So P1 plus P2 will give you the final power. If the power of the first one is minus and the power of the second one is plus, and they are of the same number, then the power will be 0. And if the numbers are different, then they will get added or subtracted depending on the condition. Now what is magnifying glass? Magnifying glass, you all know what is magnifying glass. It just increases the size of the small object. So let us see what is magnifying glass. This is lens, and a person is seeing from this side and an object is placed this side, है ना, object is placed at this side, what will happen? The very first case we have seen that it will pass to the focus, so it is passing through the focus, and another it is passing to the optical center. This is the same case as we have seen in the convex lens first case. This is the same, they are not meeting at any point, means they are diverging and going away. So what we will do, we will extend back the rays and let them meet at a point. So see, the object is of small size and the image formed is of big size and on the same direction or the same plane or on the same side. On the object is placed on this side and the image is also on this side only. So the size of the object changes when it forms an image. So this is the case of magnifying glass. What we have to do for the magnifying glass? For magnifying glass, the object should be placed, remember the position, the object should be placed between optical center and f1, and the image that will be formed will be at or before C. Okay, before C. Now this is the magnifying glass. Now what is magnifying power? You have to see what is magnifying power. Okay, so remember this formula also, what is magnifying power. Magnifying power is denoted by capital M and it is equals to 1 plus D upon F. What is D? D is the least distance of distinct vision, that is 25 centimeter for a normal person. D is the least distance of distinct vision and F is the focal length. So magnifying power is given as 1 plus D upon F. When the image formed by simple microscope is at least the distance of distinct vision. Okay, now this formula you have to remember. Now next an important topic, that is the Cartesian system. Cartesian system or the sign system. Cartesian sign convention. Now what we will do, we have a lens like this. This is the principal axis, this is focus, this is center of curvature, and what we will do in this. For example, if an object is placed at a point, okay, for instance if an object is placed here, so what we will do, the height above the ground, let the height above the above the surface, the height above the surface is taken as positive. Okay, if the object is like that, if it is beyond the surface, then it will be taken as negative. Above the surface the height is taken as positive, below the surface the height is taken as negative. Now the distance of this object from the optical center is called the object distance. Okay, remember this also, the distance of the object from the optical center is called the object distance and which is denoted by U. So the object distance, if the object is on the left side, then it will be taken as negative. Okay, when the object is placed on the left side, then it will be taken as negative. And for example, if the image formed like this, so this will be the image distance and which is denoted by V. It will be taken as positive because it is on the right side. Understood? Cartesian sign convention. This is convex lens. Convex lens, the object distance is what? From the optical center to the object. It is the object distance and it is on the left side, that's why we have taken it as negative. The height of the object is above the ground, it is called the positive height, and below the ground the height is negative height. Okay, here the distance of object from the distance of image from the optical center is image distance, which is denoted by V, and it will be taken as positive because it is on the right side. Now the height of the image is below the surface, so it will be taken as negative. The height of the image is represented. Now the next topic is lens formula. So what is lens formula? 1 upon F is equals to 1 upon V minus 1 upon U. This is the lens formula. What is V? V is the image distance, U is the object distance, and F is the focal length. So you have to remember the lens formula for numerical problems. Okay, it is very important for numerical problems. And one more thing, if we have to find the magnified height, that if the image is magnified or not, you have to find then how much it is magnified. Then we have a formula, m is equals to v upon u. What is v? V is the image distance and u is the object distance. So magnification will be equal to the image distance to the object distance. V, it will give you the height. And read one more topic that is given on page number 111, that application of lenses. This you have to do on your own, and if you get any doubt you can ask directly. So thank you students, look the video very nicely, and if you get any doubt you can ask